Hey, what is going on? It is 12:30 on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. We're talking today about starting a real estate career. We got a little toy here. We're up in the production value on Ask the Instructor. I'm real excited about that. We'll be able to do all kinds of neat things to share information with you in a more concise, more, clean way. I'm really excited, but what we're talking about today is starting your real estate career. So if you're thinking about getting a real estate license, you may be wondering about what money you could make with a real estate license and what would be required to get started. What does the long-term potential look like? Is this something that is a viable career path? Is this something that you could earn a living off of, or is it just something that's like going to the casino or playing the stock market or anything like that? What is real estate? What do realtors actually do? How do they get paid? And how do you get started if this is something that you're actually interested in? That's what we're going to be covering on today's episode of Ask the Instructor. If you guys have questions, drop those in the Facebook live feed. We are live online right now. If you have questions about starting your real estate career, I'd love to get those answered for you. But let's go ahead and get started. My name is John Chrismo, and you're watching Ask the Instructor.
You are watching Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time. And the reason why we started this show is to help people understand how to build a successful real estate business. Because there's so much more than just what you learn in the classroom that is essential to your long-term success. So, talking about starting a real estate career, if you guys have questions, drop those in on the Facebook feed, and we'll be answering your questions today about starting a real estate career. But let's do some quick math of how much money does a realtor make? So in the Hillsborough County area, currently actually, I think going by last month's number, the average sale price was $410,000. $410,000. Oh, jeez. Look at that. Still learning this thing. So $410,000, and commission is a negotiated amount. But let's say you negotiate a 3%. I don't want to say there's a standard commission rate or anything like that, because that'll get you in trouble with the federal government. But let's say 3%, because that's a pretty typical number that you'll see out there. And we'll explain how this commission gets negotiated. This is ultimately something the listing agent pre-negotiates for buyer's agent. So let's say if they pre-negotiated a 3% commission for us. Hold on here. There's a cool thing we could do with this. This is something we were testing out. Check this out. We got a calculator on here now. Oh, I'm excited about this. So $410,000 at 3%. Gives us $12,300 in commission. And we call that gross commission. Need that big of a calculator, I don't think. Nice. So you sell what in the Tampa Bay, Clearwater, Pinellas County, the Tampa Bay area is considered an average price property right now. That's about $410,000. And again, let's say you get a 3% commission, that's $12,300. Now you might be wondering, well, how long does it take to do this? And we're going to break down the steps and the processes to getting a real estate license, the classes it is you need to take, and all those other details. So yes, there's going to be work in advance for this. But according to the National Association of Realtors, the National Association of Realtors says that on average, to work with a buyer, it takes 24 hours of working time. So if we have $12,300 of total commission, there's our gross commission there, the $12,300. That's what we're potentially, again, getting now before brokerage split and everything like that. There are 100% brokerages out there, but we're going to break down because ultimately you don't go home with all of this money unless you are the broker and you're doing everything yourself. But remember, teamwork makes the dream work, that whole little saying. But let's say, according to the National Association of Realtors, we take the average amount of time to work with a buyer, which is 24 hours. Now, this doesn't mean that 24 hours go by and like next day you get $12,300. That's not what real estate is. We're going to break down specifically how you earn this money, what it is that you go about doing to earn this money, what are the things that a real estate agent actually does, what is your role here. But again, first and foremost, what do you get paid? Because that's one of the first things I know most people look at when they're considering a career path, a job opportunity. And if it's not, it should be something you're considering, because this whole world costs money. People say money isn't everything, and they're right, it isn't everything. But it's a big part of a lot of the world that we live in, especially when it comes to being able to accomplish things, seek opportunities, build an empire, provide healthcare opportunities for your family, for education opportunities, whatever it may be. That all takes money. And real estate is a really great vehicle to earn the money through so many different routes. And what we're talking about today is specifically if you have a real estate license. So if you're earning commission where you're not the buyer, you're not the seller, you're working in a brokerage, helping broker the deals, on average, according to the National Association of Realtors, if this is a buyer commission, so if we've got a buyer commission of $12,300, it says on average it's going to take 24 hours for us to get this deal done. So if we're doing $12,300 in total commission divided by 24 hours, that means we're making $512.50 per hour. Now the thing is of that $512.50 per hour is that that's not, again, all going just to you as the sales associate. So let's break down how much money you might be going home with. Now there are brokerages out there that go as high as 100% commission, but even then there's still usually some sort of transaction fee or some sort of money that is being collected at the brokerage level for everything that the brokerage provides you. Now, what is a brokerage? For those of you guys that are new to real estate that might not be familiar with all of everything that goes on in the real estate space, who is the broker? What is the brokerage? Well, a brokerage is an organization, a company that a sales associate would register their license with. Now, as a real estate professional, you're typically an independent contractor. You get to be your own boss. This is your own business. You're just building it within a brokerage. And that's a legal requirement of the Florida Real Estate Commission, the same people that require you to take a pre-licensing course. But let's say you end up getting 70% of the commission. That the gross commission is $12,300. The broker keeps 30% of the commission, but then you get the remaining 70% of the commission. So let's plug that in our calculator over here. 12,300 times 0.7. That ends up getting us $8,610. Which you may say, oh wow, that's a big chunk of my money gone. But if we look at what we're breaking this down hourly, because you got to keep this all relative to where it is that you might be coming from, or how it is that your time is also being spent if you're already practicing real estate here. This is very important to keep track of. So if we take this $8,610 and we divide that by 24 hours, again, that's according to the National Association of Realtors, how many working hours it takes to close this deal. So in that case, we still have $358.75 per hour. It's a lot of money there, $358 per hour. And that's just for an average price property. You know, we are starting this all with a $410,000 home. You know, let's say that we're going to do this with a $1 million property. What would that look like? Because there's plenty of $1 million properties in the Tampa Bay area. Depending on where your market is, maybe some of you guys are tuning in from South Florida, a lot of multi-million-dollar properties down that way, even up in the Panhandle, and, you know, even out in the middle of Florida, out in like the Florida swampland country, whatever it is. I mean, there's multi-million-dollar properties out there as well, out in the middle of nowhere. They're bountiful throughout Florida. Real estate is a major driver of Florida's economy. So let's say you do land one of these $1 million properties here, and let's say you got a 3% commission. Yeah, let's put that down here. So $1 million at a 3% commission. I think that's gonna be what, 30,000 if my math is right in my head. So $1 million times 3%, yeah, 30 grand. Now, let's say you're still at a 70-30 brokerage, and that's a good place to start out with, because the whole point of a broker earning part of your commission is that that brokerage has a vested interest in your success, because the only way it is that they make money is when you make money. Typically, they usually have other fees and costs and whatnot as well. But usually, again, this is the way that they make money, because on this $30,000, if we take 70% of that, you're still getting $21,000. But now the broker is ending up getting $9,000 on that deal. Which that might be as you get more experience, especially as you get in the realm of being able to do these $1 million listings. Maybe that does make sense for you to transition to a brokerage that has a higher compensation program, maybe 100% brokerage or a higher commission split, or maybe your brokerage already has something like that built in. Maybe whatever the fees or cost or split that your broker charges is worth it and you're happy and you've got no interest in leaving. There's tons of brokerages that operate at lower splits than 70%. You know, a lot of the bigger names that are nationwide, international franchises, that's typically we're going to see lower splits than 70%. But there's tons of top producing agents that remain at those brokerages, not because they feel like they're trapped and they're just want to give all their money to their broker, but because they see the value in the services and things it is that that brokerage provides. Which, one of the courses that we offer is called post-licensing, and it's all about designing your real estate career, building a business plan, understanding what it is that you need to do with that real estate license after it is that you've got your license. And that post-licensing course really helps you understand what it is that you might need from a broker for you to understand which brokerage is going to be the best fit for what you're trying to do with your real estate license. There's no one way to practice real estate. There's a lot of ways that you could do this where you could get creative and really create something that is better than everybody else in terms of your service and experience and brand and everything it is that you're providing to your clients. But let's say you're getting $21,000, and let's say this took 24 hours again. It is going to be close to $1,000 an hour here. $875 per hour. I don't know, go to check out USF down the road, or UF or FSU or whatever, and ask what brochures they got where you're going to make almost $1,000 an hour. Because if we multiply that, now granted, this isn't how real estate works, but let's say you do that across 40 hours and you're doing that 52 weeks out of the year because you're not taking any breaks, that's like $2 million, which on your own, that's going to be tough to do that much business. But if you're building a real estate team, you could definitely see numbers like that in your gross commission. And that's actually after a 70% split there. The total money coming in is actually even a lot higher. So the point being that there's so much money to be made in real estate. We've done episodes further on understanding this math of calculating commission. So definitely check out those if you want to learn that further. But what I want to dive into next is the steps required. It's a little bit bigger for you guys to zoom in here. So what is required to get your real estate license in Florida? Number one, a pre-licensing course. What is a pre-licensing course? This is a course that's required by the FREC, so the Florida Real Estate Commission. The Florida Real Estate Commission requires this course to get your real estate license. You cannot get a real estate license in Florida without this course unless you're an attorney in good standing with the Florida Bar or you have at least a bachelor's degree specifically in real estate or higher. In that case, you're going to be exempt from the course, but you'll still have to pass the state exam, which is going to be a step that's required for everyone else as well. It's just not something that you jump right to, because if you don't have a four-year real estate degree or an attorney, that's what most people are getting a real estate license. You're taking this pre-licensing course. So pretty much everyone has to take this pre-licensing course, and what this focuses on is the laws and rules, specifically for the exam. And I say for the exam, they're really meant not just for the exam, they're meant to make it so you understand how to practice real estate legally, how real estate is supposed to be done on the basic fundamental legal aspects of it, because they don't want you to have a real estate license and not know the basic legal requirements of that real estate license. So that's what the pre-licensing course primarily focuses on. And there's a few other steps that are required to complete the licensing process. It basically involves getting fingerprinted, doing an application, and passing your state exam. These all come secondary to taking the pre-licensing course. Now, if you have any hesitation, if you think that maybe you've got a really bad criminal background and you won't be able to get a real estate license because of your criminal background, you might be able to. We actually have an article on our website about getting a real estate license with a criminal background. Call us if you want more information on that, 813-333-2676. There's a lot of people maybe that have had a DUI or crazy things in their past, and they're a changed person now. And the Florida Real Estate Commission, they're on record saying that we believe in giving people second chances. Now, if it's something recent, especially if it's one of the crimes they're more concerned with, such as fraud, larceny, money laundering, things like that, maybe arson is probably not a good one to have. Those are ones that maybe you want to do your application first. But if you don't have a criminal background, you don't need to do your application first. They don't care about your credit history. That's not something that they're checking for a real estate license. There are other licenses that might require you to have good credit, but a real estate license is not going to be one of those. So fingerprints, application, and passing your state exam. Now, your third step. Technically, at this point, once you pass your exam, you'll be licensed. So you do all this here, and that's when you're going to get licensed. But then once you're licensed, at that point you can begin practicing real estate. However, ideally what it is that you're going to want to do is take post-licensing. And we'll also say and join a broker. You're not sure what broker to join? Definitely complete post-licensing before you join with that broker. Because if you're not exactly sure what you necessarily need from your broker, it's probably because you don't have a concrete or well laid out plan of what you want to do with your real estate license. Because if you did have a well laid out plan and you understood what it is that you needed from a broker, it would be more obvious which one would be the best fit for you. However, when you're not sure even what you do with your real estate license, post-licensing is really what covers more of the how-to of practicing real estate. This isn't ultimately required until your first renewal, because you will lose your real estate license. It'll go null and void if you don't have this done by your renewal date. However, you don't want to wait till your renewal date. You want to do it as soon as you've got your real estate license. That's as soon as you're eligible to take this. You don't want to take this before you have your license, because in order to get the credit for this for post-licensing, it must be post your license or after your license. Now, one other thing I have to tell you about today as well in regards to this process is our exam prep tools. And so for passing that state exam, what I'd recommend you check out is passfirsttry.com. So passfirsttry.com, that's all of our recommended study tools, our recommended process to pass your class and state exams on the first try. These study tools are optional. This is not something that's required. However, adding those study tools into this process right here is going to greatly help you expedite moving through these steps. The last thing that you want to do is be sitting there trying to pass the state exam again and 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 again. And you might say, well, John, what about my pre-licensing course here that I was taking? Isn't that course enough? It's enough in the eyes of the Florida Real Estate Commission to allow you to take the exam. However, this course alone, for example, just sitting through a class and listening to an instructor lecture and go through the exercises and questions and whatnot, there's a lot we do in our classes to make them as engaging and interactive as we possibly can to help foster the learning and remembering. However, it's ultimately up to you to remember all this information. And it's not about knowing everything in the course. It's about knowing certain things really well. And that's what our Pass First Try study tools are all designed to help you hone in on, to expedite this process. And ultimately, what we call this whole little bundle here, with your pre-licensing course, the exam prep study tools, and your post-licensing course, we call that the complete jumpstart. And so our complete jumpstart package is designed to basically pull together all of the courses and study tools that we have, not just to get your real estate license, but really to get you through those first 2 years of you having your real estate license, because you'll need your pre-licensing to get the license, you'll need the study tools to help you pass the exam on the first try and move through that process as quickly as possible, and then you'll need post-licensing in order to, number one, satisfy the renewal requirement, but number two, more importantly, understand what it is that you need to do with your real estate license to actually make money with it. So look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're talking more about starting a real estate career, what the steps are that are required to get your real estate license, and then we'll be talking about what's next about joining a brokerage, the Association of Realtors, and diving more into what you do with your real estate license. So stick with us. My name is John Carissimo, and you're watching Ask the Instructor. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're going to love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam, because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. as you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. And welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Carissimo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time to help you understand how to grow your real estate business through understanding some of these technicalities about the real estate licensing process, about the things you need to know to pass your exam, and all kinds of great information. We're here every single Wednesday, 12:30, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that little bell icon. You'll get notifications whenever it is that we have new content to help you better understand your real estate career, your real estate business, and your real estate future. Now, after you have your real estate license, you're joining a broker, and you can either work on a referral fee basis with a broker where you're not necessarily practicing real estate, and those are typically lower cost brokers, or you could join a full service brokerage that also includes the multiple listing service, the association of realtors, and all kinds of tools and technologies and things it is that you ultimately need to succeed as a full-time practicing real estate agent. And you might be wondering, can I start part-time in real estate? And absolutely. Most people do start out part-time. Matter of fact, it's what we recommend for starting in real estate, because until you have consistent, predictable income with your real estate business, you don't want to walk away from your consistent, predictable income. And on top of that, you also have that sphere of influence, your network of coworkers and colleagues and contacts that you have from your previous line of work, who all need a place to live, where you already have a trusting relationship to some degree with maybe a lot of these people who might want to trust you as their realtor. You add in a little level of professionalism on what you bring to the table on the real estate space there, and add that on top of their already pre-existing relationship with you. Once they're confident that you know what you're doing, they'll want to use you. They'll gravitate towards you because they already know you, and they already feel that they have this elevated level of trust compared to everyone else that they don't know. So a lot of great things it is that you can do once you have your real estate license. There's salaried positions out there as well. So let's walk through a bunch of the different types of real estate professions. I'm going to say the number one option is a realtor. And a realtor, you'd be at a brokerage. So a realtor at a brokerage. And in this case, you're an independent contractor. Which basically is a business within a business. That's probably the most popular option that I would say at least 95% of people with their real estate license is what they do. And specifically, not just any realtor, but a residential realtor. So if you want to be a residential realtor to help people buy and sell houses, where you're not the buyer, you're not the seller, you're just helping people buy and helping people sell and earning a commission of 2, 3, 4% per transaction side on every deal, that's a residential realtor at a brokerage, where you're an independent contractor. You're basically a business within a business. You can think of your brokerage kind of like as a platform to help you succeed in your real estate business. So like I said, that's probably the most popular option. Number two And this is by a long shot, because I would say at least 95% of people with a real estate license, this is what they do with their real estate license. But another popular option, we'll put this one as number 2 here, another popular option that there's, compared to some of these other ones we'll put up here, there's probably more positions in these other options. However, new to real estate or relatively new to real estate, this is going to be one that most people can get into or maybe get into once they have some sales experience. And this is a salaried position. But it's salary plus commission at a builder. So if you want to earn a salary plus commission, now typically the commissions here are smaller than the commissions at a brokerage where you're a business within a business. But on top of that, you have a salary. Now, there's a testimonial from one of our past students. This is a few years back now, but his name was David Cribbs, and he got his real estate license and went into working at a home builder. Now, he had sales experience, which is why he got a position at one of these home builders right away, but he went on to make $100,000 in his first year, over $100,000, 6 figures in his first year, working at a home builder, where you're getting a salary plus commission for every property it is that you sell. Is that typical? No. But is it possible? Absolutely. But here's the crazy part. After doing that in his first year in real estate, what did he do? He up and left that home builder. He left. Why? Because he felt like he wasn't making enough money. He actually left the home builder to go be a residential realtor at a brokerage because he was helping people buy homes. But when you are working for a builder, so down here at the builder, you can only sell the builder's properties. Any other properties are off limits because the builder typically is not a broker. So they're not allowed to broker deals or bring together buyers and sellers. If you want to be able to do that, you're going to have the most options and the most flexibility as a realtor at a brokerage, specifically a residential realtor. But we always get the question, what about commercial? Now, I don't have any official numbers on whether or not there's more commercial realtors than there are salary commission people working at a builder. However, to put all 3 of these up here, this is going to be very similar to this one. So being a commercial realtor, very similar to being a residential realtor. However, the big differences are with a commercial realtor is you better be very numbers oriented. And this is where it's much more important about the logical, not the emotional. So your typical real estate transactions, residential, where you're a residential realtor at a brokerage, you're an independent contractor, you're a business within a business, and yes, sometimes you're having to get logical with your clients. However, this is typically more of an emotional, more of a qualitative decision as opposed to a quantitative decision. And when I say quantitative, I mean math, I mean numbers, I mean the things that a lot of people are terrified of. If you don't like math and you don't like numbers, I would not recommend commercial real estate. But as a residential realtor, there's still like some math here and there, but nothing that we have to really do manually. Even on your exam, any math questions that are on your exam, there's only 10 of them. It's only 10% of the exams. You get to use a calculator on the exam. So look, don't let math scare you away from real estate. Just because we make a lot of money doesn't mean we have to be good at math. So that's what we have calculators for. We don't need to be good at math anymore. We need a calculator. I go right in here, pop up my little sidebar calculator. But anyways, and there's so much technology you can take advantage of to really build such an exciting business. You have a lot more control and flexibility up here typically, even though you're at a brokerage, because again, that's a legal requirement by the Florida Real Estate Commission. In order you to practice real estate as a sales associate, you must be supervised by a broker to make sure everything that you're doing is legal. You're not breaking any laws or rules or anything like that. But beyond that, and beyond whatever basic requirements that brokerage has, there's a lot of flexibility you have to structure the way you do business, how it is that you process your clients, the experiences you provide, the brand it is you convey. And when I say brand, I don't just mean the color scheme of the brokerage that you're with. When I say brand, I mean the experience that you provide for your clients. So again, commercial, similar to the residential realtor. However, the biggest difference on commercial, again, is going to be very numbers oriented, much more logical. Now, these are bigger sales typically, but they do also take longer. And when I say, again, numbers oriented, I mean reports, spreadsheets, all kinds of financial data, demographic data, average daily traffic counts from roads going by, and average incomes within a certain radius, but then extrapolated out in all kinds of data. There's people that have master's degrees that work at certain brokerages to help understand and calculate a lot of the financial aspects of real estate. If you've got any sort of background like that, whether it be accounting or business or anything along those lines where, again, you're really good with numbers, maybe commercial is a path it is that you want to learn a little bit more about. It still might not be where you start because there's a lot more information to know. But hey, you actually can start directly right away in commercial because your real estate license is good for working at a residential brokerage, working at a commercial brokerage, working at a builder. You only get to hang it at one place at one time. So you get one license that you get to put at one place. So maybe you start out with a residential brokerage to learn more of the basics of real estate. But then there's all kinds of commercial trainings and designations and information that you could take in if you do someday want to move into that commercial space. Now, a couple other options here. Let's say another one. This is one that's really popular in Florida. Is timeshares. Now, timeshares can sometimes get a really bad reputation. If you don't know what a timeshare is, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. If you do know what a timeshare is, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about here. And there's even people that have timeshares that know that they have a bad reputation, but they still took the leap of faith and they love their timeshare. So there may not be right for everyone, and it can be a very aggressive, pushy industry sometimes. However, selling people vacations, we live in like the vacation state. I mean, maybe Hawaii kind of has us beat, but Hawaii is really difficult to get to. Florida, we're really easy to get to, and we've got the most coastline out of any of the contiguous 48 states. So this is a vacation destination, and there's commission to be earned selling timeshares as well. Now, if you don't already specialize in timeshares, don't waste your time because there's so much information to know about timeshares. This is a very specialized usage of your real estate license. But there's developers who are hiring, especially, there's tons of this out in the Orlando area. So if anyone's tuning in out from Orlando or Central Florida, there's lots of timeshare opportunities where you could make really good money here. However, you do need to develop that specialization of information. Just like if you wanted to specialize in commercial, you don't just get a real estate license and say, I've got a real estate license so I can do anything with real estate, use me today. Because if somebody is negotiating a multi-million-dollar commercial deal, they want to trust a newbie who's just out of pre-licensing course and that's all the training they've ever had. They want somebody who's got experience, that's got knowledge, that's got professionalism, which is a big thing that holds a lot of people back in the residential side. They might say, well, if I'm brand new to real estate, how do I get started? Don't people all want experienced people? That's usually not at the top of their priority list. They might think it is, but in reality, what they're ultimately looking for is somebody who really does care about their wants, needs, and desires, and that listens to them, and that really provides a personalized service and experience. And sometimes the more experienced people get, they can get better at providing a great experience. However, as they get busier, as they get better, especially in a market like we have today, it could quickly fall apart. So somebody who's new to real estate, not only do they have more time to dedicate, but they might also be part of a great brokerage that's got a great team that's there to support them. That's what your brokerage is there. Again, think of this like a platform of tools, of technology, of support, coaching, mentorship, everything it is that you would need to be successful. Again, all different brokerages have all different offerings, but that's the idea. There's certain things that you need that you get provided by your broker instead of you getting those directly, and usually this is going to be some sort of a better deal for what that broker typically provides if this is a good fit for your business. Now, again, moving into these other types of positions, so whether it's the salaried at a developer, at a home builder, or these positions here, which these might be a salary plus commission, they might be commission only. Again, they may vary. There's a lot of opportunities that are out there. I mean, if we want to keep listing this off on this list here, so we could talk about industrial property. Your real estate license works for that. If you want to do a warehouse or help somebody buy or sell a warehouse, logistics facilities, manufacturing plants, things like that, you just need a regular real estate license to do that. Another specialization is agricultural. And that's farmland. There's a lot to know about farmland. There's a lot to know about what makes something good farmland, good ranch land, the types of soil, the drainage, the weather patterns. There's so much into this that I can even begin to know. That's a very specialized type of position that, again, could provide a very bountiful opportunity if you have some expertise along those lines. Some other things you can do with your real estate license, there's easements. Now, what are the easements? Easements are going to be like for power lines, utilities, things of that. There's people that these companies hire specifically for helping get these easements. These are definitely more specialized positions. Another one that probably should be close to the top of the list because it's definitely a lot more popular is property management. If you want to be able to do property management services on behalf of others and earn commission for doing so, you do need a real estate license in order to earn that compensation. There's ways if you're just earning a salary and all kinds of things like that. And we could go on and make this list even longer and add even more things that you could do with your real estate license. It's getting too small here for you guys to read. But there's so many things you could do with your real estate license. There's just no one thing that you have to do. It's not just about, again, the most popular, where most of you are probably going to get started, is a residential realtor at a brokerage. Again, where you're an independent contractor. It's a business within a business. You have unlimited income potential. Again, what are the benefits of getting a real estate license? And what do these mean as well? So the number one benefit, I would say the number one for most people, actually isn't the unlimited income potential. The number one benefit for most people, I would say, is going to be the ability to make your own schedule. And that's something that's becoming a reality for more and more people every day, of how much that time is the most finite resource that we have. It's the one thing that we could never get back. It's the one thing that they're not making any more of, that it's just constantly running out every single day that goes by. They're constantly printing more money. So there literally is unlimited money out there to be had. But what good is all the money if you don't have the time to spend it? Real estate allows you to chart your own destiny, build your own future, set yourself up for success to where you make appointments around your schedule. This is how people are able to start real estate full-time or part-time. You know, I said earlier, a lot of people do start part-time, but if you've got like 6 months worth of income set aside, saved up to where you don't need to worry about steady income, and you could go all in on your real estate business, you could go into real estate full-time. And even if you don't have 6 months worth of income, if you'd like to live dangerously, you could still go into real estate full-time. Or you could start part-time. Again, not just to leverage the stability that you currently have, just working on your real estate business nights, weekends, or whenever it is that you have the time to be able to. You know, there's so many things you can do right from an app on your phone. It's ridiculous of how much of your real estate business you could run that way without actually even have to, go into a real estate office. There's virtual real estate brokerages now. And not just one. It used to be just one, and everybody was like, a virtual real estate brokerage? That's so weird. Who would join a virtual real estate brokerage? But now there's multiple. There's many virtual real estate brokerages where everything is in the cloud, where you don't even need to come into an office. And that makes it where you could do business so much faster with the technology that exists today. And again, you could build your own schedule of when you want to meet with your clients, when the appointments are. That's all ultimately up to you. Again, in most cases, you're going to be an independent contractor. So what that means is that this is your business. An independent contractor, this is your business. And most brokerages treat it that way, where this is your business. We're here to help you and support you and help you build the best business you possibly can, but it's ultimately your business. Just stay within these rules and requirements that exist at the brokerage. Now, the second benefit I would say is probably the unlimited income potential. For some people, that might be the number one thing. For me, it was a combination. When I started in real estate, there's a few things that made me want to get my real estate license. This was a driving factor. To be your own boss. So prior to me getting in real estate, I did not make my own schedule, I did not have an income potential, and I was not my own boss. I grew up around real estate. I wanted to be in something other than real estate, though. I did not want to do real estate. I grew up around real estate. Maybe that's part of the reason why I didn't think it was glamorous, but, looking at our students, there's not many people that, just graduate high school and come and say, hey, I want to go get a real estate license. We do have a few people, but the majority of people coming to real estate are doing so after they've already done something else already, where they've already, followed the advice that they give you, because we all heard the same thing. Go to a good school, get a good job. It's finally starting to become where go to a good school, get a good job. People are realizing that's not the best advice. That's becoming more common knowledge, which is good. We're evolving as a people. But I fell victim to that trap. Go to school, get a good job. And so I went to school, and I got what I thought was a good job. And I spent 5 years there. First 2 years, I was really making a go at it, really trying to make things happen. But when I didn't have control of when I worked, when I kept being unhappy with the amount of money it is that I was making, and when I felt like I wasn't in control of my future. That's really what I'd say probably is the fourth benefit for a lot of people that they're looking to do, is to build an empire. And I don't even say an empire. I would just say a better future. Because, maybe you don't want an empire. Maybe you don't want to have a huge portfolio of investment properties and a huge real estate team. Maybe you don't have grand visions, but you do have visions of how you'd rather spend your life than just sitting in front of a computer all day at a desk. Because that can be really draining. Emotionally, physically, spiritually. So many things that, just happen when all you do is just sit there and stare at a screen all day long. You don't realize they're happening because all you're doing is sitting there staring at the screen, clicking away on your mouse, typing on your keyboard. But what opportunities out there that you might be missing? Are you not moving at the pace that you wanted to? That is what happened to me. And I was lucky to figure out this lesson young. So again, I went to school, got a good job. But the thing that was holding me back, it wasn't just not controlling my schedule. It wasn't just the money I was making. It wasn't just me being frustrated with what people, thought was the best thing and just having to do it a different way just because that was what I had to do. But I felt like I wasn't in a situation where I was building a better future, where I wasn't charting my own course, where I wasn't in the driver's seat. That's really the best way to put it. I wasn't in the driver's seat. Somebody else was in the driver's seat, and I was just along for the ride. And turns out I was way back at the end of the bus. Because anytime I tried to move up and get a little bit higher, get a little bit closer, get a little bit further on my journey, only to be knocked down and pushed back and said, no, you're not ready for that. No, you can't do that. You haven't done this yet. No, you haven't put in your time. No, you haven't paid your dues. Whatever the excuse was as to why I couldn't move up faster. Maybe part of it was my own fault. But I wasn't going to keep myself in that environment. I wasn't going to let that be my fault. I wasn't going to let it continue to be my fault. I was the one who applied for this job, who asked for this job. And when they gave it to me, I was like, oh, yes, please, yes. So how am I going to blame them when I was the one that asked for this? I should blame myself for asking for the wrong thing. And what I realized eventually is that I did ask for the wrong thing, that I did ask for the wrong future, that I realized that the path that I put myself on was not as glamorous as I thought it would be, was not moving as fast as I thought it would. There wasn't as many opportunities as I thought there would be. A lot of great things that came out of that experience, but the best thing that came out of it was my next steps. When I eventually got my real estate license, and when I got my real estate license, I started part-time. I didn't go right into it full-time. And one of the biggest mistakes I made in my real estate career, especially early on, it's something that almost broke me and almost sent me out of real estate, was not completing post-licensing right away. I waited till right before my deadline to do the post-licensing course, and I was kicking myself when I did because there was so much valuable information that I wish I knew when I got my real estate license. I thought post-licensing was just going to be another course about laws and rules and exam nonsense. But it turns out it was actually real-world usable information. And so that's why we're on such a soapbox today, to make sure you guys get your post-licensing course done as soon as possible. Because if you want to unlock these benefits, if you want to be able to make your own schedule, you got to have contacts and clients and a pipeline and business to be able to make your own schedule. Because if you have no money, then how are you going to make your own schedule? You got to go ask somebody else for a schedule and have them pay you some money until then you can afford to make your own schedule. Now, in real estate, it's absolutely possible for you to afford to make your own schedule because there is literally unlimited income that's out there. There's no limit on how much money it is you can make with real estate. And, going back to the list of things we're talking about, we haven't really talked about this today, but if you guys are looking to become an investor in real estate, that's another great reason to get your real estate license. You might not be ready to invest in real estate yet. You might not have the capital. You might not have the experience. You might not have any know-how of investing, but maybe it's something that you want to eventually do someday. Well, the big thing that holds most people back once they do figure out the basics of investing is the money aspect. And the reality is that most jobs, especially when 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, that means that people aren't setting aside money to be able to use for a down payment for an investment property. So how do you put yourself in a position to where you can set aside money so you do have money to invest for your future? Not just reinvesting in your real estate business, which is absolutely something you can do, but reinvesting in something that could potentially be bigger than your real estate business because the income is passive. And that's through investing in real estate. We've done a lot of episodes on investing in real estate. Definitely make sure you guys check out other episodes of Ask the Instructor and State of Real Estate. Matter of fact, hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever it is that we have new content to help you guys better understand your real estate business. And if you guys like today's topic about starting a real estate career and more details on it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so next time we're putting a show together, we take into account of what topics you guys want to learn more about. So if you guys want to learn more about starting a real estate career, the benefits of a real estate career, what you could do with a real estate license, definitely hit that thumbs up for us or drop your comments in the chat. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to recap everything we covered today, talk about the next steps if you're ready to get started with a real estate career. Stick with us. My name is John Carissimo, and you're watching Ask the Instructor. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Charisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Charisma, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Wednesday, 12:30 Eastern Time, as well as Fridays at 12:30 to help you understand the technical side of real estate and mastermind to grow your real estate business. We do these shows because at the Tampa School of Real Estate, we're on a mission to help people achieve their dream real estate career. And we know it's almost impossible to get there alone. So we're here to support you for the life of your real estate career, not just with the courses that you need to get your real estate license and keep your real estate license, but again, even these little YouTube videos we do every single week that you find us on YouTube, Facebook, the Success Center on our website. But look, let's talk about, again, if you want to make this happen, if you want to be able to earn the commission, again, just to recap some of the numbers we went through here, an average price home in Tampa right now, the Tampa Bay area, is about $410,000 at a 3% commission, gives us $12,300 total commission, 70% of that if you have a 70-30 split with your broker, $8,600 if on average it's taking you 24 hours according to the National Association of Realtors. That's $358.75 per hour before your expenses. It's a lot of money there is to be made in real estate. So if you want to be able to do that, again, we've got this complete jumpstart package. You don't necessarily need the complete jumpstart package to get started, but if you want to basically bundle together everything it is that would be required and necessary to get started, minus your fingerprints and your application, your state exam, that would be something you'd have to pay separately, but we're talking maybe between the application, fingerprints, and exam, maybe about another $200 or so, currently based on what they're charging for the application, exam, and fingerprints. But otherwise, your pre-licensing course, your post-licensing, the exam prep tools, again, that's called a complete jump start. At the very least, I would recommend our Pass First Try study tools, because that's going to help you keep the momentum. And then once you have your license, you could then get your post-licensing course, get enrolled in that, and get it knocked out. Or if you want to commit in advance, again, you're going to save the most money with that complete jump start package. You can find out more info online at our website, tampaschool.com, or give us a call, 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. We have advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that they can. Look, we're not new at this. We've been around since 2007, helping tens of thousands of people get their real estate license and start their real estate careers, and we want to help you do exactly the same. You could Google us. We've got thousands of five-star reviews. We've got a really great reputation, and that's because, again, we do everything it is that we can to go above and beyond to make sure, again, you just don't get the courses done. You don't just get the exam passed, but you're launching a better future for yourself. Again, if you want to be able to tap into those benefits that we touched on here about making your own schedule, having the unlimited income potential, being your own boss, being able to build a better future for yourself, that all exists with a real estate license, and it just starts with that pre-licensing course, and we guide you through what it is that you need to do, from the fingerprints to the application to the state exam to studying for that state exam to what you need to do after your real estate license. Again, that comes with the post-licensing course. So again, you have questions, 813-333-2676. You need help signing up, you're not sure which course to take. We have in-person, we have virtual live stream, we have self-paced interactive on-demand courses. Give us a call, we can help you out, 813-333-2676, or check us out online at tampaschool.com. It's about all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on Friday for State of Real Estate. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline, I don't need to do post-licensing yet, but look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing.